Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Heat Beat Podcast. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, reality check master Tiffanny Meeks.
How you guys doing?
We've been chilling on this wonderful last Wednesday of May, quickly approaching June and the NBA Finals. Also with me today, got 2K coach, co-founder of StreamBeat, Draft Beat insider Franky G.
Draft B 2024. What it do? What's up, guys?
We also got other Draft Beat correspondent, Coach Lou. Saucy Takes.
He said June, the NBA Finals. Ugh, what are we talking about? 28 days, baby. June 26th. That's the date that matters.
What's the date that matters?
I just want to point something out. Lou is Coach Lou, and Lou coached like fifth graders. I was a high school coach for like 8 years, and I'm a 2K coach. This is some.
I don't even remember how that joke started. I just remember it started, and I remember you had objections to it years ago.
No, the Caius was the one that had the objections first, because it was I remember the podcast. It was me, you, Nikias, and Alex Toledo, and Alex goes, Nikias, you play a lot of 2K. What would you do in this situation? Da da da. And Nikias is like, Franky was a literal coach.
Oh my God.
2K coach Frankie.
Tim, could you imagine someone's like, you play a lot of 2K. What are your thoughts here? What should they run? Just like, what's a 2K?
Oh boy.
Tiff, have you ever played 2K?
NBA Jam Live?
No.
Nothing?
Just not a gamer. Not like Luca.
I mean, I had plans.
Like
I have plans. Like what?
Just like, I have a goddamn life.
Tips like
I'm married.
Tips like I dated women.
Right.
Just like I touched grass.
Right. Like there's numbers in my phone.
People bought meat drinks.
Tiff was like, I was an actual hooper, guys. Come on.
Right.
Tiff actually was a hooper and a soccer player. Fun fact.
Long time ago. Long
Multi. You're multi-athlete. Multi-sport athlete. Multi-athlete.
So I got a question though. Lou, when's the next time you're gonna light that beam?
It'll be June 26th when the Miami Heat walk up to the podium and select. Stay tuned for next week.
No, it has to be after every
What a
Celtic
tweet.
loss in the final.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. It's just a fun fact. As soon as the Mavericks make the finals, after every Mavs win, I will light the sign up, not in honor of Dallas, but in shame of Boston.
There you go.
It's just gonna be me here for 5 seconds,
That's it.
just laughing,
That's all you need.
turning the sign.
Bro, I saw this tweet the other day, and it resonated with me so profoundly, and it was really just saying like Dallas has to do this. Luka, it's on you to disembowel the Celtics. This is an edict from God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is.
And I agree. It's on him. And we're not going to bore you with finals talk and being a hater, but we will talk a little bit about. So we have we're going to talk about kind of some of the young guys on the Heat today and kind of where we see them in the offseason and for Summer League. But we have to start with the Jimmy news. And we had this pod planned, and then this whole Jimmy stuff dropped. So obviously, we're dedicated to the news and current events, we'll bring you this. And it just kind of seems like, I don't know, guys. It just seems like more of the same, Tiff, where he just wants to get paid. He wants his money. I don't think anything that anybody has said is anything new. It's like, yeah, he wants his money. Miami is going to have a chance to extend him. And if they don't, he's going to opt out and he's going to get his money. And I don't think that's complicated. And I don't think that's anything new. And I kind of looked at it as no news, but you know how Twitter gets.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird because we were here like 3 weeks ago. We were here 2 weeks ago. We were here a week ago. And we've been here ever since. And it's like people are reacting and overreacting to the news like it's new news. But like I was saying to you earlier, I don't know why people are surprised that like he wants to get paid. Like we all want to get paid, regardless of what situation you're in, what job you work, you want to get paid. Whether or not fans feel like he deserved the money, that's up to them. Whether or not the Heat feels like he deserves the money, that's up to them. But we all should walk into the front door of our establishment and believe we deserve the money.
Yep.
So whatever happens, happens. You know, I don't really get into it on Twitter about whatever. It's not my money. So I'm always like, you want to keep a guy, you pay him and you figure it out. But I've said if you keep him, then you got to figure out a way to stay a contender and be better. If you're letting him go because you don't want to pay him, then you need to open the door wider, let him go, and let a lot of other people go, and start watering the grass on the other side.
He's not leaving, man.
I don't want him to leave, but you got to play devil's advocate. Either he's there and you're paying him, which means you believe you're winning, which means you need to build a winning team, or you're not paying him and you need to let a lot of those other salaries go and you need to turn the other leaf.
I just don't see a universe where they just say, yeah, we're going to get out of the winning playoff games business. And that's just, I don't know. That's just, they've just never done anything that they've never sold. Have they ever sold anybody for parts?
No.
No.
Just can't. Yeah. Like even if they'll run some shit
To their detriment.
Dog,
Right,
Pat Riley
right.
will run that shit into the sun if
Mhm.
we have to. There is no emergency landing. Not like that Spirit Airlines flight that landed in the. Did you guys see that tweet?
Yeah, no, that shows.
That one dude, there was one guy that tweeted, he's like, somebody woke me up from a nap and goes, hey, yo, dog, you might want to wake up. They're about to land this bitch in the ocean. They put it on life vest.
That's Pat Riley to the Heat fans.
Right, right. Everybody, hold on for dear life.
Dude, that was Tyler in the playoffs when Jimmy went down. Wake up, dog, about to land this bitch in the ocean.
No, that's literally what they were telling Dion on the plane from Denver.
Dion was telling him.
Dion was seeing people on the wing.
He was like, why are we in space right now?
Why is there a man sitting on the wing?
She's seeing Jason with the hockey mask on the wing. How'd you get up here? Like Myers type shit, bro.
But for real though, you guys really think, okay, what do you think they want to do? Like, let's be honest.
Compete.
Do you think they're going to pay him?
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna pay him. I think they're just gonna wait.
No, they're gonna pay him. They have to come eventually. They gotta like decide at some point. Are they gonna pay? I just think that they're gonna do it. They don't have the guts.
I think they pay him. I ultimately, like, it goes back to the Dwayne thing. They've stated for almost 10 years they don't want to rehash that mistake with Dwayne, make it again. And this is literally the opportunity to not let it happen again. I'm sorry. I never believed the 2018, 30, and 11 guys signing them made a difference in free agency. I don't think nobody ever said, I want to play for the Heat because they gave Dion Waiters a 4-year contract or James Johnson a 4-year contract. It's always been about the stars. It's always been about Dwayne, how they treated Dwayne, how they treated Jimmy. And this is their opportunity. I think they're going to take care of Jimmy. And honestly, it's one more year. Like if it was 2 more years, I'd have more of a debate for it. But 1 more year, I'm not mad at it. Just get it done. That it won't be the reason they can't do anything. Their other mistakes are the reason they can't do anything. Pay Jimmy, take care of him. He should retire in a Heat jersey.
I think he's good. Did you guys see the Bad Boys video he did?
Yeah, he wants to stay here.
He's not leaving, bro. He's doing shit with Will Smith and fucking Martin Lawrence and doing the Bad Boys and opening the door and picking a roll.
I don't think he wants to leave, but I think he will leave if.
If
they play with his money, he's walking out that door.
They're gonna pay him,
or he's requesting a trade and he's gonna sit out or not sit out, but
he'll play
half-ass this year.
No, I don't think he'll half-ass it because nobody's gonna give him the max if he half-asses it at his age.
You're right.
So I think that, like, I understand if the org is like, bro, you got to play more than 60 games.
I understand that. That's completely reasonable.
I'll take 60 games, but
No.
he plays
No,
60
no, no.
games.
He should play between 65 and 70.
Yes.
That's
get
the
that,
sweet spot.
but-
65 games is doable for him.
But I want if he's gonna play 60, I want him to play 60.
No, I honestly think and I told you guys all season I didn't think he would look any better than he did the first week. Right? I said that.
And you
And
were
he
right.
didn't. And I was right. And you know why I was right? Because that man been pushing that boulder up that hill for how many years? So basically,
Looking like Atlas.
I feel like an asshole saying it, but I mean he got rest this year. Like
Tiff.
he got rest this season.
Do you know when the last time Jimmy hit the threshold of 65 through 70?
That was years ago.
17.
That was years ago.
2017.
Exactly.
Bingo.
That was years ago.
He got the 65 in 2018, 2019 between his Minnesota and Philly year. 65 on the dot.
But he could get to 65 next season. But that's contingent upon your team is better. He not getting to 65 if he has to come out opening night 38 minutes every single night and the defense, the offense, the this, the that. Like you have to have a more balanced team to where when he needs to take over, he's taking over. This team is not balanced in any way, shape, or form. So there was no way you were going to be in a decent place all season and him be healthy enough to carry. Because you saw what he looked like in the play-in before he got hurt. People they don't want to talk about it. He didn't look good.
He looked like ass.
He played, but he was playing hard, but he didn't look good. That was the difference. So if you're really going to pay him, you really say, okay, if you're playing 65 games, we got to make changes around him for him to be able to do things that you want him to do.
I think ultimately he just gives a shit about his money at this point. And I think it's pretty clear that like winning, this sounds unfair, but I think that like when you see the cap situation of this team and you are like max or bust, I do think that winning is not your number one priority. And I wonder if that worries your organization a little bit. I think they should pay him. I think that like you just got to get it done. And then whatever, you give him his 4-year extension. He is 34 years old right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is 34. So, you take him to, I think he has 1 year left and then it'll be, so you'll take him to year 39. Not ideal, but you just say, fuck it till the wheels fall off. You're going to put him in champ. But like, I get the organization having trepidation to be like, dog, you in this for this or what? Like, I don't know, but I get Jimmy.
I just struggle with giving somebody 35% of the cap when they're 36, 37 years old. And we've already seen the decline this season. That's where I struggle. And I guess people think I'm too crude for that. But realistically, I get it, man. Like you want to keep the relationship going. You know what I think is the best way to keep the relationship going? Jimmy, look, we're kind of scared to pay you this money. Give us 3 places you want to go. We're going to try our best to get you there.
They don't do that.
But they're not going to do that. But I'm saying I think that's the only way to make shit work. At least, if you are scared to pay him that much money.
I just don't know why you scared. You've already you've had him dragging the wagon for 5 years.
And this is success.
No Kyle Lowry pun intended. But you've literally had him pulling the town on his back for 5 years, and now all of a sudden there's fear.
I think they've given him help, particularly early on last season. They didn't. I think so.
He had help in the bubble. And that's we have to be really honest.
And
okay, but
Kyle,
and
right.
22.
But he wanted Lowry. They brought him Lowry. Then they got him PJ.
Decision.
Then they got him PJ. So that's 2 years. So it's been like a year, 2 years that he drug the wagon last year when we made the finals. So 2 seasons, I guess they gave him help for
that's half
seasons.
of them though. It's like half of them.
Yeah, it's 40% of them, but
and I mean they also gave him Mo Harkless. So can we count that season too?
Exactly.
That's like an extra bad one.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
They really started Mo Harkless at power forward.
That was
That's
fucking disgusting.
something that we
was
all
while
did.
drafting Precious Achua
Remember?
over Tyrese
Right.
Maxey,
So like,
and
let's
Desmond
think about
Bane.
all those things.
That
remember?
Is that a top 5 worst offseason in Heat history?
Oh,
That might
for
be
sure.
the worst.
And the fact that like Goran was already injured, that
Exactly.
that offseason was fucking dog. But again, they're in this position. I don't know. It's a tough situation. It's a tough conversation to have because in theory, I think both sides can be completely right and both sides can be wrong. Like it is what it is. But that's the delicate beam that they're gonna have to try to walk on.
Right.
You're gonna have to pay him, and it's gonna be the wrong decision, and you just got to be okay with that. That's it. That's really it. Because
You got to be okay paying him, and then all of a sudden, him just being like, him going from being the Dark Knight to him just being Knight.
I gotta be honest.
That's it. You gotta be okay with it.
They're not good enough to win a title, and I don't think there's
No, they're
anything that
not.
they can realistically do that will make them good enough to be a title. And
Even
they'll
with
say-
Jimmy on the team, correct?
And they'll say we made the finals a year ago, and they're right. They're right. He's worse. I don't care what the fuck you tell me. I would be stunned if he's that good again. And you lost almost every guy who contributed on that run, and Caleb might be out the door next, which some people might be really happy about that.
Caleb's
Others
gone.
may not. So, like you're going to lose everybody except for Bam and Jimmy that were a part of that finals run because Tyler was hurt. And that guy's worse. And Bam, I got to be honest, has not really improved in a couple years. So it kind of is what it is.
He hasn't made the strides you need.
Marginally. He's improved
Right.
very marginally. He has not improved enough that you're just like, oh, our Bam is better, so it's okay, right? So
Right.
you have that reality, and I just think that, well, your cap's in hell. Either you don't want to move Hero or you can't move Hero.
You gotta move Hero.
You
Talk
just-
about
you
if you
just
can
gave
find
a
the money
pick.
to pay Jimmy, you can trade Tyler somewhere.
I'm sorry,
for
Rozier
second
fucking
round pick.
stinks. That's you. That was what you cashed a chip on, and that guy's not that good. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like you just fucking sign him and then just be okay and be a fucking 5, 4, 3 seed, lose in round 2, maybe get to a conference finals, win a game or two, and then that's kind of the ceiling. I think. I just don't think they're good enough. I don't think that they can do anything to beat Denver. I don't think they can do anything to beat kind of some of these better teams out west. Although Dallas is going to make the finals and they could probably beat Dallas, but different conversation.
They can't beat Dallas.
Yeah, they
Let's
can.
be honest.
I think
They have the cheat code to beat Dallas.
we've seen them have repeatedly said this. We'll when a guy becomes available, we'll do what we have to do. They never honestly prepare for the guy being available. There's no plan in place. They're just we'll be ready when it happens. We'll adjust when it happens. There's no like foresight in this fucking build, and this has been an issue for the last fucking 8+ years. They're just like, oh, when the chips fall with their May, we'll do what we have to do, and they haven't. The only time they've been able to do that on this level is to get Jimmy Butler, and that was lucky because he was a free agent, and Philly fucking ruined that relationship and decided it for you because if Philly just gave him the contract that he wanted, he would have stayed in Philly and they would have been fucked. But everything else, they wait for the moment. They don't prepare. This needs, if you're gonna go with Jimmy, whatever. If you're going to pick Jimmy or if you're going to trade him, whatever, this offseason needs to be, hey, I need to start preparing for the future. I need to get some flexibility. I need to get, whether it's I'm going to be able to have flexibility to cap space for free agency, whether it's to get some future assets and draft picks, some guys I can trade or picks I can trade, or something to make moves or develop, put my guys in position to develop. You talked about Bam's lack of development. How about he had the same, almost the exact same percent of assisted 2-pointers as Nikola Jokic. Not Jovic. He was asked to create as much as Nikola Jokic, the fucking MVP, one of the greatest offensive players of all time, and he's asked to do the same amount while being a deep point candidate on the end. How about getting him a fucking playmaker? How about making it easier on him? Jovic developing and being a floor spacer and some actual size in the front court is a step in the positive direction. But offensively, there is no fucking plan. There's no plan to help shit make things easier. We talked to Tiff when They were making Tyler the starter when they gave him the contract.
Mhm.
What did we say? If you're going to make Tyler the starter, you need to get him in position to with a point guard that's going to guard point of attack and make the job easier for him. Instead, you said, let's put Kyle and fucking 6'4" Caleb out there and let's play the smallest starting lineup in the NBA. Like they don't fucking think about making their young guys' jobs easier. They just go, hey, this is what we have. Let's just fucking do it. Let's go with the flow. And there's no consistency in that.
Yep. I agree. They asked Spo and company to like patch up all like the fuck ups of the front office and
chicken shit and chicken salad.
Yeah, it's not to say like, you know, our front office isn't horrible, but just like what Franky's saying, like all the biggest thing I could take away from it is like, imagine you really wanted to buy a pair of shoes, and then when the pair of shoes drop, they're there for you to buy, but they cost $200, and you're going in there with 50 cents and a pack of gum. And you're like, this is all we have, but we're going to get that shoe. Like it doesn't work like that. And then it's you know, if you have enough to get the shoe, then you bring the shoe in and then it's nothing. You got no other clothes. You going out there naked with shoes on. Like that's how the Heat are. Like realistically, if they cash in all the chips that they have, they're going to go out there next year. And if they don't win that shit, they're going to be fucking butt ass naked for 3 seasons in a row.
Lou, and they saw the fucking delivery guy dropping shoes off, left the truck open, stole the shoes one time, and they think, I could keep doing that. I could keep stealing shoes. That's my big plan. It's fucking ridiculous. There's no plan. There's never a fucking plan in place.
They are too fucking stubborn.
So they got fucked. Like, and I've said this a bunch. So it's like, I think the Houston Rockets are a good example of like, once you peak at that point, the reshuffling is going to give you negative returns. And I think like they peaked that year, you know, with Chris Paul conference finals, missing 27 threes in a row or whatever it was. At that point, they start reshuffling, right? And then all of a sudden guys get older and now you're trading guys for cents on the dollar. So you're trading Chris Paul for, you know, whatever, diminish Russell Westbrook, who's just worse than what Chris Paul is giving you. And then you have to trade Westbrook. And so you just keep shuffling the deck, but every time you get a little bit worse, but you change the face. And I think that when you get capped out, that's all you can do. When you get to a certain point in your cap and you're just all locked in, there's nothing you can do because you're just trying to get rid of a contract that you don't want, that nobody else is going to want. So you just trade your contract for somebody else's bad contract and hope like one of it works out for one of you. And when you're doing that, you're just very rarely going to get better. And I just kind of think that's where Miami's headed. They're all capped out. They traded Kyle's bad contract. It wasn't even a bad contract. It was an expiring contract. But they traded his contract for Rozier's contract. That's not very desirable right now. And now they're in the first apron and they have all these shitty tax implications and all that stuff that we've talked about. And they're just kind of in that position. And they're going to keep Butler. I'm sure that they're going to pay him. I actually think that it's funny that we've spent 25 minutes talking about this and people have been crying about it on Twitter all day. The Heat are not going to let him go to the Sixers. The Heat are not going to let him go to they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him because what they're going to do is they're going to wait it out because they don't have any obligation to pay him right now. There's no reason for them to pay Jimmy Butler today other than to make him happy, which might have been the right thing to do, but that's just not what they're going to do right now. They're mad that he does not show up to work enough, and they're
just to get your contract out the mud.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty sure they're just going to
everything out the bud.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to light a little bit of fire under him, which is why I don't think, you know, we've seen Jimmy make a stink of things. Bernie Lee, his agent, has not made a stink of things publicly. Bernie Lee is defending Jimmy and everything and not saying anything bad about the organization. And I think they know that the org's trying to light a fire under him. Jimmy's going to be like, okay, bet I'll show up to work. And if I'm going to play a great all NBA season. And then if you don't want to pay me, somebody else will. And I think that's what the Heat want. The Heat want him to go out there and have a nice little contract year and it'll be all hunky dory and fine. Cause they're going to put him on championship alley. They're going to do all the things that they want to do with him, even if they don't win a title with him. And they don't want to go through that stuff. I'm going to do a segment I like to call reading Brian Goins' DMs. This is what he said about the Jimmy contract to give some clarification on kind of what other teams can offer him and what the Heat can offer him. Jimmy Butler could get more years if he opts out after the season versus doing an extension right now, which is essentially just adding on 1 year of money. If he opts out, Miami could offer up to a 4-year contract since they have his full bird rights, which would add another 3 years of new money and take him into his age 40 season. If he opts out and decides to sign with another team, he'd be limited to a 3-year contract since they would not have full bird rights, which would add another 2 years of new money, and that would take him to his age 39 season. The Heat are going to keep him. They're going to keep him till he's 40. He'll probably retire after that or soon thereafter, or maybe even before that. Who knows? He might not even finish the deal. Knowing Jimmy, he might just want to open a coffee shop in Bogota or something.
Yeah. I don't know what.
Wait. So you think that's better than just giving him the fucking contract now?
I think that they want him to play really good and then reward him with a contract. I just think that they want to motivate him. I just think that they don't want to just give him the money after he just had his worst season in a Heat uniform.
What does that?
I think that's
I don't disagree with you, Lou.
That's what bad parents do.
Yeah. What is this fix?
But I also think that's way
you made
worse.
him happy. You
That's
spoiled
bad
the rest of
parenting.
the
You pay him 1 extra year or 2 extra or 2 to 3 extra years. Is that where the debate is? At a max? At 40?
It's bad parenting.
If you don't want to pay Jimmy at 35, why do you want to pay him at 40?
There is no fucking way a Miami Heat fan should be happy if a contract extension is not signed and Jimmy is not traded. Either he signs the fucking extension or he's traded. If he goes into the season and he plays it out and he opts out,
I don't think they've offered an extension.
But
they haven't offered it.
They haven't
that's
offered
what I'm
anything.
saying. So either he signs the extension if he's offered it, or he's traded. If Jimmy Butler goes into the season without an extension fucking offered or signed, and he just goes to play, if he opts out and he leaves for nothing after what Franky has been saying, like after what the fuck ups that they've had for so long, like what are we doing then? He's gonna go to he's gonna go wherever he wants for free. Like we're not even gonna get a pack of gum on the return.
Hold on, like, and then you paid fucking James Johnson for nothing because then you did the same shit with Dwayne that you just did with Jimmy.
It's like what are we doing here?
You're gonna let him walk away?
If you are not offering Jimmy that extension. When does it? I wish Brian was here. When does the league year start? July 1st? July 2nd? July 1st at 12. I'm calling Philly. What's good? Houston, I heard y'all have the 3rd pick. Y'all want a star. What is up?
Yeah, fuck that.
Memphis, you got 9. What is good? I'm calling around the fucking league. Oklahoma, you have 74 picks. You don't think you could have used Jimmy Butler? Like, what are we realistically? What the fuck are they doing if Jimmy doesn't sign the extension? He's just on the roster. Oh, we want to see you play. For what? I doubt. I'm so mad, man.
You let it all out, bud.
I get that's the option. I get Brian is just pointing out the option, but man, I think that would be royally stupid.
So fucking dumb.
I think I would much rather just like I'm like 75% give him the extension, 25% trade him. Over that, letting him opt out and then re-signing him, that's a 0% for me. That's a 0%. I do not want that. That's awful. That's awful team management. Plus you're risking pissing him off for nothing. If
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that's what I think they're doing because like I just don't Tiff. I just don't see them not paying him.
No, it's bad parenting. I need you before I feed you to go and clean your room. Like, what are we doing?
After you clean the rest of the house too.
Right. Like, it's just bad parenting. But G, you're absolutely right. I can see them saying, we just want to see you do X, Y, and Z. And guess what? He gonna go out and do X, Y, and Z.
When you finish your broccolis, you can have your chocolate.
Exactly.
If he leaves, like if he has a great year and they don't win the championship and he leaves, like how does the fan base react to that? Like you told Jimmy to do this and you let him leave to another team. Like you lost your franchise star again, and we're supposed to and now you're left with nothing again. When you could have just traded him to not win a championship and be in a better spot.
Left with nothing.
If he walks away, you're left with nothing.
You got Tyler and Terry Rozier.
Tyler and Terry Rozier.
And Tristan De Silva.
You ought to make me puke this water I've been drinking.
You got something. I mean,
Cole Swider's really good. Maybe.
Bro, that Jamal Cain guy has been MVP in the nowhere.
Cole Swider era.
Exactly. I'm gone.
Shaban is right here.
I'm gone. I can't. I don't want to watch that dude. Like,
I agree.
I'm not trying to watch that dude.
I'm sick of the
Like,
factory of white people they churn out.
Right. I'm sorry, but like,
I just
Oh, I can't wait till you see Johnny Furphy.
please.
That's
God.
not a real name.
That
That's
is
not
a
a
real
real
Swear to
name.
God. Swear to
That's
God.
an extra on The Sopranos.
He's an Australian too, who looks like
mate. That's fine.
he. What would you say today, Lou? What is he?
What,
Look?
Lou?
look-
What the fuck was that?
right.
That's my impersonation. He looks Johnny
No, hold on,
Furphy,
wait a
but-
second. Wait. Lou was gonna do it, smiled, then realized this is bad, and he lowered his volume.
You heard him right. He whispered.
Yeah. He's like, oh, my mate.
I thought I was waiting on Lou to be like Faustus.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
No. He looks like yeah, that's definitely it sucked. I'm sorry. But he looks like he owns a law firm in Melbourne.
He does. Oh, my God.
no.
He looks like he'll say my father will hear about
Australian chat people are offended.
Yeah. Oh, Aussie.
this. Was he?
I mean, if they're Australian, they'll respond.
Or-
Mitch, you got
Mark,
10 seconds to
Oi, oi,
respond.
oi.
Down under, mate.
Oh God,
Mine was better than Lou's.
this is horrible.
Lou sounded like he was more New Zealand.
I've never been to that part of the
You
world.
say-
and I can't wait
Oh,
to
he
go.
called you a Kiwi.
Why do they call them Kiwis? Do Kiwis grow there?
I had a Kiwi from there once.
Shrimp on the bobby.
What do you mean by that?
Move along.
Why do they call New Zealand? I'm kidding. Okay, so don't want to spend the whole show on Jimmy, but we did want to touch on it a little bit. In reality, Franky had messaged me earlier before this news broke. He's like, "Hey man, can we do like some Nico and Jaime talk and like some Summer League preview talk? You know?
Yeah,
Like the degenerate shit that these fucking drafty people like.
hell yeah.
Summer League preview for the fucking Hoopers."
June
Tiff
28th.
is like, Tiff calls me today. We ain't talking draft and shit, right? Because I don't want to contribute. I was like, me neither.
Tiff, if
You
they
know
do,
me, Frankie. I don't know these people.
I know. But if they let Jimmy leave, you Photoshop me as Sterling K. Brown and Pat Riley as J-Lo.
Yes.
If you know, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
That's where I'm at with this fucking team right now. I know, Tiff. We just wanted to talk a little bit about the Summer League guys, the young guys, the G League guys coming back. Obviously, we're gonna start doing draft talk. Draft beat is in effect. I believe we're gonna start next week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, depending on what day of the week does not have a game. And it's gonna be me, Lou, Brian Goins, and Moose, and some Siobhan when she's available. But yeah, we're excited. We're gonna do. I think it's gonna be like 4 episodes, before the season, before the draft actually starts. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of homework right now. I'm so tired of watching fucking G League basketball. It's exhausting.
That doesn't look very fun.
It does not. It is not.
I mean, it's really you're in the depths, you know, because there's good basketball on. The W's on, the games are good.
I'm watching all of it, and I'm my eyes hurt.
And then you have to watch shitty G League basketball when you could be watching Cameron Brink blocking shots.
I stay up to 2 a.m. for this.
You guys are
Lou's a real sicko. Like
you
like,
guys are crazy. I'm basketballed out. Like
no.
by the
Lou,
end of
Lou,
the
show
year-
your notebook. Lou's got a moleskin notebook.
Man,
Oh.
yeah, I'm not ready for this. I got 3 notebooks.
The
but
three?
The other one's in the car because it's whenever I'm on the road and like, you know, it's just
You're doing more draft prep than Pat Riley.
for sure, man.
For sure, he is.
This shit deep in here. I showed the empty pages because it's the middle.
Yeah,
but
I was like,
most of it.
like,
That's the one that before I got an upgrade. But this one is about. Lou's
a sicko, man.
There's a lot of pages here. Hold up, I got you.
look at this man right here. You got look at that. Just taking hand.
He doesn't want to zoom in because his handwriting sucks.
Does it? That looks pretty good.
Oh,
actually.
it's so fucking bad, dude. Especially when
bad?
I'm writing at 2 a.m. Can you imagine? Not for me.
Lou's stopping at red lights and writing thoughts on Devin Carter. He's a
Cardilliana
sicko.
says Lou is a LeBron of notebooks.
Yeah, just know. Just know we are prepared this year. We are prepared this year. Don't listen to the haters say that this draft sucks. This draft sucks for people picking one, not for us.
And
So-
are we prepared when they say, and the Miami
Don't say
Heat
that.
have traded the pick to?
I actually want that. So in reality, that's the best content. That's what's best for the show. Is all this prep for them to trade the pick or trade out of their spot.
You know how scared we've been the last few years of draft beat.
I put in my 2 weeks notice as a Heat fan.
That's literally Moose and Goins don't really talk in the group chat like often as much as me and Lou and Bond do. But Goins would go every year since the draft beat chat has started. Goins goes, they're gonna trade this pick. It doesn't matter. And they haven't traded the fucking pick. It's so annoying because I'm still on edge. Don't fucking trade the pick.
We got like $5 to spend, right? We trading these picks.
If they trade this pick, I'll be so pissed. All
I
this
think
for
that
But
what?
they have 2 picks, so we still have a job to do.
Listen
They
here.
have a second.
Yeah. 15 and 43, folks. Stay tuned.
Stars.
That's a Tiff. That's real sicko hours.
Yeah.
I've
Second round
completed
draft
my
prep.
30th deep dive on a 30 prospects. I'm trying to get to 60. I've seen like 55.
Are we getting Bronny? Is Bronny a first round pick?
No, absolutely.
No, Bronny's not a first round pick.
Bronny
Stay
not even
tuned.
a Bronny not even a pick.
Are they
Right.
gonna take Bronny?
If we being honest,
Do we want a small point
Can
guard
you
who can't
imagine
shoot?
that the Suns are going to take him at 22 just because they hope to get LeBron there? It's so
Is that a thing?
yes.
yes,
Yes.
it's a
No.
thing.
He has
way.
declined every workout. He's only worked out for the Suns and the Lakers.
And not taking
No.
a 2-way. No, that's true.
And he said he's not taking a 2-way. And today was the last day for eligibility to go back, and he said he's declaring for the draft.
Yeah.
So
He back.
What if the Heat take him?
I'll take him at 43, not 15.
right.
I'll take him at 43 if LeBron comes with him.
Yeah, that's what.
But if it's just him,
No.
I did
for what?
I did see all the memes.
that was
Skyforce legend.
Lou, that's what I said about Terry. It's just him?
Where's the rest of
For
it?
what?
For what?
Tiff, did you see the meme?
We had Jamari Bouye in the G League. It's just,
Stop with him.
he's better than Bronny.
Kenny's gone.
Bouye was my guy too.
No, but for real though,
Better than Kyle.
I mean, you could have had that cap space with Kyle and that pick if you would have just brought Bouye and his bald head up.
Exactly.
Bouye taking a
Bronny.
trip to Turkey as we speak for you, Tiff.
Listen, we need a point guard. Bronny can't shoot. He'll fit right in.
Norris Cole's playing in the G League Ignite.
Don't you dare. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Nah, bring them both. Bring them both.
I do not want
You
to
know what's bad? I was watching the G League Ignite, and then I was like, damn, this number 30 guy stinks. And then they're like, Norris Cole missed. I'm like, yep, nothing's changed.
Something there.
Yo, he had a hell of a run though.
That's my
No, he
goat.
was running all right, Mr. Cardio.
missing layups. He was running to miss those.
Did you guys see those memes of like when LeBron kind of like made it seem like he was distancing himself from the Lakers drafting Bronny because all his workouts were bad? Someone was like, "Yo, Bron gonna be out here like, yo, he don't got a left hand. He don't got a left hand." He would, dude. He's so fucking funny. I love NBA Twitter, man. They're hilarious. So, yeah, guys, be on the lookout for draft beat for Franky and Lou. Unfortunately, we spent too much time on Jimmy. We couldn't get to the Nico Jaime stuff. We'll do that. We'll do that next week, or we'll do that next week. We'll leave you 2 pods. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We're gonna cover kind of what we want from the young guys next episode. And we'll start doing some draft coverage. Unfortunately, news broke, and
No, chat wants us to talk about Nico.
we have time. I think
We can
people
do- we
have
can
to
just-
go.
We can just do the Jimmy and Jaime, and we'll leave the 2-way guys for the summer league.
You got we some of
Figs,
us
yes.
some people have to go, which is why we're on a hard out here, which is why. So well, let's do a little 5 minutes. I think we could do another 5 minutes and
Yep.
get through this.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
I'm
we
good
got
for
it.
5.
I think listen, I think the main thing we kind of want out of Nico is going to be like, hey, can you consistently handle and pick and roll? You know, and Franky, and I think you'd agree with that. And I think that's like the one thing that is really going to change their team. Tiff, you say no.
I mean, yeah, but if we want to talk about consistency, what I really need to see from him, I need that shot. I need that shot to be consistent. I need that 3-point shot to be like he needs to be making at least 3 a game consistently.
He was at 2.5 this year. Almost.
So then let's get it to 4. If
well,
he's
for
at
36,
2.5,
yeah, 2.5.
yeah. So if he's at 2.5, he can push it to 4. Like I need because I think the handle's going to be better. I think the passing was really good, but I think it's going to be better. But his shot to stay on that floor and he has to provide more offense.
He shot 40% this season, and he started off rough.
Yeah,
he did. He
really picked it up. I agree with Tiff. I think they need more attempts. His finishing at the rim is not very good. It's really bad. It's 58%. And I think that's going to come with him being a pick and roll handler, which is what I agree with Tiff, though. I think that the shooting, I don't think he'll be an off the dribble shooter.
right.
I think that, as a spot up guy, I think it'd be nice if he could take like a little pull up off a screen if they go really under. I think that'd be a nice thing to add to his game later on. But for now, I don't disagree with Tiff, but I do think that they just need a guy to go downhill. And I think that he has that juice in his game that I think he can bloom it.
We saw it.
Yeah, we did. I have his numbers from the end of the season from when he started to the last. I'm not counting the last game because he only played 15 minutes because they didn't need him to play. But as a starter to end the season, he averaged 9.8 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.3 blocks, 0.9 turnovers. In 22 minutes, shot 48% from the field, 39% from 3 on 4.6 attempts. I really need his minutes to go up because I think he's too good and too big, and he brings too much versatility offensively for the team that is sorely missed. He sparks and juices the offense. Tiff, I absolutely agree with the threes. Like he needs to get them up. I also really think he needs to get a lot better inside the arc. You talked about the maneuverability in the pick and roll and stuff. I also think he needs to be a matchup threat. Like if they can't, too many times they stuck a small guy on him and he couldn't make him pay. That's a spot where they need him with his size and ability and his touch around the on the perimeter. I think he can improve there and be strong, but there was way too many times he's gets contact and just throws it up and expects the fucking call. And he needs to just like completely ignore that. Like he just needs to play through contact, be a lot stronger, try to finish through contact. He'll start getting calls and respect through that, not just like, oh, I got fouled and nobody blew the whistle like that. Yeah, a lot of the times that absolutely is what happens. He got bumped. A superstar gets that call. But Nico, you're not Jokic, you're Jovic. You got to play. You got to earn that respect. And I honestly think like Lou called him a potential top 25 offensive guy or something like that.
Top 20.
In the 100th percentile, everything goes right. Yeah. But yeah, I think this next season, I just want to see more continued shooting, willing to shoot from deep and be aggressive and playing through the little shit and on inside the arc.
Yeah, defensively, I just want him to keep taking strides. Like the strides he took halfway through the season, all the way into the playoffs, where he was at times literally our best defender on Tatum and Brown. For stretches, it was him and Bam. If that versatility can withstand defensively, then it takes a lot of stress off of Bam's shoulders. Also, the driving. Sometimes he drove into traffic a little bit too much. Part of that was the offense being kind of the spacing being horrendous. So hopefully with some of those fixes, he gets to shine a little bit more. But I think you guys hit on the net. Just play faster with Nico and give him 30 minutes because the two best contracts that they have on this team currently are fucking rookies. So I mean,
I think it's
him
interesting
and Jaime.
though with him
Rookie
because the thing about it that I notice is that he needs the ball. Like he needs the ball to do a lot of things that we saw him do very well, even just to get it off the rebound and push. And we got a lot of people that want to play pity pat with the ball. And I think like for me, if you notice, like he seems like a young, smart player, but he doesn't look as smart as he can when he's on the court with Terry and Tyler. because it seems like he doesn't know where he fits when he's with those guys.
I will
So
say
I don't. Go ahead.
he did get better at that, but that is a genuine concern because when he first got here, even last year and halfway through this year, offensively, for as skilled as he is, he just looked lost out there without the ball. But he has gotten more comfortable. I think that comes with time, and it's crazy. He's still the youngest player on our roster.
Right.
Like he's probably going to be younger than the guy we take at 15.
But see, I think like for me, I attribute a lot of that to neither one of them are natural playmakers.
Oh, for sure.
So they're not leading him anywhere on the court.
Right.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Right.
about that.
No, you're right.
But that's not their job either. Like that's
no,
Well,
if they're
no,
point guards,
well,
yeah.
if they're
you kind of
if you're
direct
playing
traffic.
pity pat with the ball, G, you got to do something.
I guess.
Like you got to set up. You got. Oh, you wasn't saying that when Kyle was like throwing lobs and this and that.
Telling
That was
guys
his
where to
job.
go and
I guess
stuff.
I just kind of lead. That's like more the veterans' responsibility. Like like. But I see where you're going.
But he's a young guy, and then if you have these two guys who do the majority of handling the ball, he just seemed like he didn't know when to cut. He didn't know when to where to go. And I think a lot of that is because neither one of them are like natural leaders in that position.
Right.
So if you're saying he has the ball less, where are we placing him this year? Like where do you see him on the offense, G?
No, I mean he has to be on the ball more, I think, for sure. And I think that given their point guard situation, I think that they would benefit from a lot more inverted actions with him, which is really the Spo special, kind of guard screens for him and stuff like that. So I want him to have the ball more. I do think that his playmaking is what is going to be the slowest thing to come, I imagine, especially playmaking off the dribble. And Tiff, you and I have talked about that a lot. And I think Jaime, we can kind of loop him into this as well. I think he is also going to have that same kind of hurdle of like, can you play make off the dribble? Can you play make when bigger help comes, not just like those small guys on the weak side or whatever, when real size comes to help, can you make those passes? Can you make those plays? And I think everything I said for Jaime, I'd include for Jovic. Like I need more consistency as a pick and roll handler. And Jaime, as Tiff said, with Jovic, I need him to be a better shooter because you need to stay on the court, and that's going to be one thing. And like Lou said, his defense. Like I thought he was probably their worst decent defender on the team. And he's a rookie, and he's not gonna have that right away, but he needs to be able to. I think everyone's a little bit too high on Jaime. I think if he's gonna be like a really highly functional, like 4th, 5th starter in the league, I think his defense needs to improve at least like 40%, because I don't think he's ever going to be like this. I don't think he's ever going to average 20 points or anything like that. I think he's going to average like between like 12 to 17, in that range. And that's fine, but you're going to need to like play really good defense and like do other things like in pick and roll and as a ball handler. So I kind of have a similar vision for both of them, even though they're very different players.
Yeah, Jaime, I have the exact same questions I had draft night for him. Like,
still nothing's changed.
He was I don't know if I've seen a guy translate from college more like perfectly. The only thing was he took a lot less mid-range jumpers, but that was just part of his role. Like we've heard Duncan.
It's funny because Miami takes the most mid-range jump shots.
Right. But we've heard
Phoenix.
even Duncan say that like he doesn't take as many mid-range because Tyler, Bam, and Jimmy take so many. And like they kind of need to get their shots from other places. So like but that was where Jaime really operated in college: pinch post, elbow, low block, hunting mid-range shots. But yeah, his shooting defensively, I don't think he'll ever be like, he's not a great lateral mover. He wasn't out of college. That's not his strength there, but he can be a lot smarter there and not be so jumpy. He overreacts and stuff, and I'd like to see him be a little bit more disciplined there. He was huntable. We saw Brunson give him work, and Brunson gives a lot of people work, but not you don't want him to be a guy who's like, come here, bring him here, and your man screen for me. Like, you don't want him to be that kind of a bad defender. He needs to be able to hold his own. But I thought we saw significant strides defensively throughout the year. He definitely improved where there were points where he was guarding Tatum and Brown. I think he's comfortable on bigger wings who aren't as shifty, but guards can still hunt him, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what has always been my worry with him. And like you said, the shooting. I also think inside the arc, what he needs to kind of work on stuff like that's not okay. They're not biting on the pump fakes. What do I do?
Right.
Like he needs to develop some more counters there, which he's got fantastic footwork. He's got great touch around the rim. I think, developing a little floater to open up the inside game a little bit more would help. There's some people who say they don't think he should play in the summer league, and I think that's crazy. I think he absolutely should play in the summer league. I would love him
Point guard too.
Yeah, I want him handling the fucking ball a lot, and that's his playmaking showed a lot during the season where he was the point guard off the bench sometimes. And I thought the first half of the season, I thought his decision making was better, but I want him to continue there.
Yeah, he needs to. He definitely needs to play in the summer league. He needs to be playing fucking point guard, unless the Heat draft him point guard. But even then, the minutes that guy's not on the floor, he needs to take those because last year he was our sixth man, and I think that's the role he's destined for again this year. Unless obviously Jimmy's not on the roster, then a conversation will be had. But as of now, it's him. He's the sixth man. He's going to be the guy who needs to help orchestrate the offense with the second unit. So he needs to improve at those little things. His 3-pointer, that needs to get better because off ball defensively, he's kind of good at like getting in lanes and he does little things
rotation.
subtle. Yeah, in rotation, he's smart. But offensively, if he's not hitting that 3-pointer and they're just sitting on his drives, then minutes are going to be hard to come by.
Yeah,
I agree.
And one thing before we go, I just want to say about him. He needs to learn to use the physicality he plays with on offense. He needs to figure out how to use that on defense.
For sure.
Yes.
And he needs to grow back that facial hair. What the fuck?
Did he shave it?
He shaved it, and he was on Kevin Hart's podcast, I think it was. Oh my god, Jaime, my brother.
Kevin Hart has a podcast? I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Everyone has
Stream
one.
Beat has a podcast. Come
I
on.
want to say something. We just celebrated our
Legend.
11 years. We had a podcast. Oh my god, I'm seeing it now. He looks like.
Post the picture. Show the picture. What that's the heart out.
Yeah.
It's a very small. Unfortunately, I can't pull it up and it'd be good quality. But
pobrecito. That's what she
Jesus
said.
Christ, he looks like he should be on a list.
No, hard. That should have been the hard out.
He not like us.
Wop.